Hi everybody, Zeddy here again with a brand new video, and today we're gonna talk about why Blizzard is a terrible company. So, I will give you guys my opinion, which everybody likes, right? People always ask, wow, Solem, give me your opinion. I want to hear your opinion because yours is always correct. So, I thought as a wild enthusiast, right, I started playing this mode years ago, actually when it came out back in 2016. There are some things that need to change, so I wanted to take my time and my effort and my passion, put it into this microphone so you can hear it and see this guy with a reflective forehead saying words today. I wanted to complain about certain cards in this game, okay? How about that? Isn't that awesome and a new, interesting idea when it comes to Hearthstone? Complaining? I think so. So let's get into it. I like this expansion so far, actually. Like, it's really fun to play. If you play low ranked, so like I'm playing in Silver 8 to Gold 3 so far, and if you play against friends, or in my case against viewers, and I guess next and Zeddy off stream. Here's the thing though. Some cards in this expansion, certain cards, make it a little bit less fun than it's supposed to be, I feel like. At least the game is a little bit too streamlined and too foreseeable before anything actually happens. For example, let's say you face a hunter, and they keep the first card in their hand. What do they play? Surprise, surprise, they play Defend the Dwarven District. I gotta say, playing like Odd Hunter, which has like 29 cards that are 3 mana or 1 mana, it's not that bad, you know, it works and it's pretty consistent. The problem is that it's far too consistent. If you think about Quest for More Doom, where you had to summon 20 beasts, for example, or I think just minions for Hunter, you gotta summon 20 minions and then you get a reward, right? It's like, do a lot of work and eventually you get the benefit. Here you don't have a downside. You never miss your turn 1. You always finish this turn 2, or almost guaranteed. You get an upside immediately, and then there's another upside and another upside. And then you just win the game. If your opponent plays any minions, they're gone. If your opponent doesn't play any minions, you just point face. I feel like for the Hunter quest, it would be better if this one would read, deal damage to certain characters, to minions, or like deal damage with spells in a single turn. Okay, it's hard for me to fix things, right? I just wish, from a player's point of view, that it wouldn't be guaranteed to finish this quest, or the entire quest line, by turn 4. And it's kind of guaranteed, which then means on turn 5, you just have your Raza Anduin combo, and you don't even need to play poke out. Like, isn't it insane? Raza and Anduin is worse than playing that. And you already complain about Raza and Anduin being too good, since they are nerfed that. And this is just better, because you don't miss it. And unless your opponent plays Oh My York or Cabal Lackey into counterspell, this one just doesn't get countered. You just play it, and then you finish that. It's a little bit too consistent, if you know what I mean. And that's just Hunter. The thing about that in general is that there's like no interactivity. I mean, your opponent interacts with your bot, yes, but every game is the exact same. It's like, I play minion, it dies. Okay, you finish the first quest, or the first part. I play more minions, they die, you finish the second part. Now you can use your hero power on my minions for free every turn. And then I play more stuff, they die, and now you win the game. It's like, what I was supposed to do to play around that? Play like the Neophyte and Lothap, and then my gameplay is not I play the cards that I want to play, I try to counter your gameplay. Nah, that doesn't seem fun. Next one, Ignite. This is, I think, not really a problem, considering that Flamebreaker or Mozaki Mage has been around for the past months. But isn't it stupid that they make this card? Like, nobody liked Jade Idol. Okay, that's a lie. Some of you guys like Jade Idol. I like to summon green mans. But why do we have the fatigue mechanic in the game? And then Blizzard is just like, so how about no? And then we just don't have fatigue. When you play this right now, if you have double Sorcerer's Apprentice into Luna, for example, or the Elemental that draws something when you use a fire spell, or Auctioneer or anything that draws stuff, this is just OTK. This is just lethal. You just blow up your deck and then, oh, you won. Good job, funny. I would like to not just complain about Ignite, but I think Flamebreaker Mage in general. I feel like when you have a low-cost minion with a benefit, or like a giant upside, like Sorcerer's Apprentice as well, it should work like once or twice. Not forever. We have seen on Mech Warper that if you combine that with Snip Snap back in the day, as well as the Summoning Portal, you just win. And that got nerfed, right? Now Echo, every single Echo minion, costs at least 1 mana, every single Echo card. Why is this 0 mana? You know, what's the point of having Sorcerer's Apprentice reducing spells, but then they cost 0 mana, so you can just play as many of them as you wish? Why not have like a hard limit that cards cannot be reduced below 1 mana unless you use like an Emperor tick. So you can't have them forever at 0 mana, but you could have them at 0 mana with a certain setup. I would like that a lot for Hearthstone, because there's a reason stuff should cost mana. Why is Flesh Giant 0 mana? I understand that Molten Giant is 0 mana because you gotta take 20 damage, right? Yeah, there's a downside to it. But Flesh Giant means you take damage, you heal, do that a couple times, you have 30 health, the card costs 0 mana. Why? Why? Why is stuff infinite? Why does that even have a mana cost if it never costs mana? Know what I mean? I don't like that. Next one, Demon Seed. Actually, this is more about Dark Warlock in general, not just this questline. What's the point of nerfing a card so it's still tier 1 in Wild? The card is still broken. Because of Raise That, you just get this card back when it even dies, so it's actually like Resurrection in Priest, but you get it to your hand. Because of Can With That, this card costs 1 mana, if you even play that anymore, you probably don't. And there's just no downside to it. Like, unless my opponent plays hyper aggressive and points faced after I do my entire Darkler turn, I just get 15 mana for free and finish this questline in 1 or 2 turns. What's even the point of playing the game now? Every time you see a Warlock, at least in most cases, they play Demon Seed, right? They play the card on turn 1, they play their Darkler stuff, finish the quest. And then every damage you take, your opponent takes instead. Did they like playtest that? Like, at all? I feel like they didn't. They didn't quite. I think people even stopped playing Molten Giant because of the heal effect you get in there, and you probably can't play the Giant anymore. You just play double Flesh Giant, and like the Unlicensed Apothecary, which deals 5 damage to your face, so you can just deal more damage to your opponent, or just finish your quest faster. Isn't that insane? Like, you never miss turn 1, you always have something on turn 2, even if you just hero power, you help your quest. I guess consistency is king, but how about we make it worse? Like, you have to take 8 damage on every step, or like even 10 damage, so you would need to die when you finish that. I mean, that would probably render this card useless, but I think most of you, I hope you have like a logical mind and you can see that this card is a problem. I hope most of you can agree and think that it's way too consistent and way too easy to finish this, and there's no downside. Because I don't see the downside. What, you gotta play this card on turn 1? Oh no, boo-hoo, and then next turn you win the game. Cool. Good job. So for that, I hate it. Lastly, Incanter's Flow. Back to the discussion of, why do we even have mana in this game? Giants cost 0 mana, your spells cost no mana. Like, I think in Expansion Showdown, about 2 or 3 months ago, Dexter and I played, I think it was episode 18, 19, and I made a mage deck. I had like a losing streak and I wanted to definitely win a game. So I played Flamebreaker Mage with the cards I had on that account, and I double Incanter's Flow. And I even mentioned there that if in 2 months' time, which was like July, they don't nerf this card, then Blizzard, what are you doing? And turns out, now that we are in the future, or for us in the present, they didn't nerf this card. What's wrong? Blizzard, like, they don't see that this one is a problem? The card that reads, reduce the cost of 25 cards in your deck by 1 mana. This card, even if you spend 2 mana, is minus 23 mana that you get for free. And you can do it twice. If you get this card on turn 1, I think, at least in Standard, your win rate is like 70%, because you play spell-only mage and it reduces everything. In Wild, it's probably also a lot higher. Why? You know, like why? Does this make like a strategy? Is this like remember Fiery War Axe back in the day? Fiery War Axe for Warrior was really good, so they nerfed it from 2 mana to 3 mana. If you had the card in your opening hand, your chance of winning the game was a lot higher than if you don't have it. Think about it again. If they nerfed Fiery War Axe, and they haven't unnerfed that, I think, and they don't nerf that, what changed? I don't know what it is, but something must have changed. This is probably the most obvious nerf that you can make. Make this card like 4 mana. Make this actually just delete this card. There's no point in having this, because it's not interactive, it's not fun, nobody benefits besides the person playing the card, and their win rate increases by a lot. Like, what is my counterplay against that? Concede and queue against somebody else? Find an opponent that doesn't play mage? Great. That's not how the game should work. So for that short rant video, but I want to leave my thoughts. I want to have those thoughts on the interwebs and see if you guys agree, which I hope you do. Keep in mind, none of this really matters. If you don't enjoy the game, then don't play it, right? That's true for me as well, which is why I play in very low ranks, so I play against you guys, so I don't have to encounter this. But the main reason why a couple months ago I mentioned that I stopped streaming Hearthstone, and even right now I don't play ranked, is because of stuff like that. It's such an obvious nerf, but it feels like talking to a wall, which is what I'm actually doing. Like behind the camera, there's a wall, so I'm talking to a wall, and this probably won't get addressed in the next day or two, but maybe eventually they see that this card sucks, it shouldn't exist, and it does. Cards should cost mana, and they don't, and they kind of ruin the game, so I hope they look into some cards. If they can ban Steal Off Swords and Wild, why not just ban Dark Lair in this card, right? Just as a test for a week. Maybe there's some other deck we complain about, which is very likely. That being said though, I don't like seeing my opponent drawing a card which is random, and then they just, you know, have 10 or 20% higher chance of winning the game. I don't see where that should be part of any game yet, no. Please fix it. Thank you. Bye.